All right, today we're diving into a book with a pretty wild idea that the simple act of writing, with a pen, can actually change who you are at a fundamental level. I know, it sounds a little out there, but the author makes the case that it's a real tool for transformation. So let's see what this is all about. So this is it. This is the big question at the heart of the book. It's a bold claim, for sure, but think about it. Could you literally rewrite your personality, one letter, one stroke at a time? Let's find out. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the book's core concept, then unpack the science behind it. We'll look at some key insights, break down the actual steps you can take, and then, of course, give you our final verdict and a couple of similar books you might want to check out. Okay, let's get right into the foundation of this whole concept, the idea that your pen isn't just a writing tool, it's a direct line to your subconscious mind. The book is called Your Handwriting Can Change Your Life, and it's by Vimala Rodgers. It came out back in 1990, and it's really for anyone who's into personal growth and looking for a new approach. And its core idea is pretty revolutionary. Every time you write, you're not just putting words on paper, you're actually running a program in your brain. So, this practice actually has a name. It's not just a random idea. It's a whole field that builds on a concept you might already be familiar with. And that name is graphotherapy. The book defines it as a behavioral science. But let's break that down. The key words here are changing and altering. This isn't just about reading your personality. It's about actively going in and changing the way you form your letters to weed out those negative, self-defeating habits. Now, this is a really important distinction to make. Most of us have probably heard of graphology, right? That's the passive act of analyzing handwriting to figure someone out. Graphotherapy is the active part. It's the difference between just looking at a map of your mind and actually grabbing a pen to redraw the roads. Okay, this is where the theory gets super compelling. We're going to look at 5 direct quotes from the book that really show just how deep this connection between your pen and your personality can go. So check this out. The point here is that your handwriting isn't just a skill you learned. It's like a subconscious confession. Rodgers is basically saying it's a treasure map to your own mind, revealing all the fears, hidden talents, and self-imposed limits you didn't even know were there. And this one, wow, this really shows the sheer ambition of the book. It's a massive claim, isn't it? World peace. But the logic, when you follow it, is pretty interesting. If every single person could use their handwriting to strengthen their best qualities, things like confidence, creativity, tolerance, that ripple effect could be huge. Now, here's the scientific linchpin of the whole argument. The author is connecting graphotherapy directly to neuroplasticity. You've probably heard of that. It's the brain's amazing ability to rewire itself. So the argument is, you're not just practicing your ABCs, you're literally physically reconfiguring the parts of your brain that control how you see yourself. This is so fascinating. The book suggests that negative voice in your head, your inner critic, doesn't just exist as a thought. It has a physical signature, a certain loop, a specific angle, a cramped letter. These are the footprints of your self-judgment. And by changing the stroke, you can essentially erase the footprint. And finally, this quote just perfectly captures the empowering tone of the whole book. It's not about blame or shame. It's saying, hey, you created these patterns, maybe without even realizing it, and now you have the power to gently take them apart piece by piece. It's all in your hands. So let's shift gears from the what and the why to the how. How does the book actually say you should do this? And, the big question, does this advice really hold up? The book actually gives you a super clear, actionable plan. First, she says, ditch the lined paper. Why? Because lines encourage conformity. Second, focus on writing your name, your signature. It's supposedly the fastest way to your neural self-image. And third, take it one step at a time. Pick one limiting belief, one letter, and focus on that for a week. Okay, so let's get real about this. The strengths of this book are obvious. It's a totally unique idea, and it gives you practical, easy-to-follow steps. And it's a big but, the weaknesses are pretty significant from a scientific view. It's almost entirely based on stories and anecdotes, and it's really lacking that hard, peer-reviewed data to back up the biggest claims. All right, let's pull it all together. What's our final score for Your Handwriting Can Change Your Life? And if you liked this idea, where can you go next? Our final grade is a 7.6 out of 10, and that's a really strong score. It reflects a book that's packed with practical value, even if its scientific foundations are a little shaky. It's a fantastic tool for self-exploration, especially if you're open to trying something a little different. And this breakdown really tells the whole story. Just look at that high score for practical application, an 8.5. The book is also written very clearly and has a lot of potential to make an impact. But then you see that research quality score, a 6.0. That's what's holding it back. This chart basically screams, amazing practical guide, not a scientific textbook. If this whole idea of transformation through a simple daily practice got you excited, here are 2 other books you should definitely explore. The Power of Now uses mindfulness to change your consciousness, and Psycho-Cybernetics uses visualization techniques to rewire your self-image. Both share that core idea. Small, consistent practices can lead to massive changes. And that brings us to the end. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you pick up a pen, don't just think about the words you're writing. Take a look at how you're writing them. What's your handwriting trying to tell you about yourself? What hidden map is just waiting there for you to read?